everyone, and welcome to another great episode of At the Bench. I'm your host, Richard Charpentier, and today we have a very special guest with us, Matt Ratliff. And Matt has worked basically all of his life in restaurants and country clubs, but he started in restaurants and he got his education at the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, where he got a degree in baking and pastry art. And today, Matt is the culinary director for Everglades Private Country Club in Florida. In 2019, Matt became a CMB by taking a CMB exam. And Matt is also a board member with the Retail Bakers of America. So it's an honor to welcome you, Matt. Hi, Matt.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's great to be here. I can't wait to share a little bit of my story with you guys.
And you and I had a chance to talk at IBIE, and I was quite impressed with all the beautiful desserts that you make and what you shared on your social page. So quite an artist. So what I wanted to ask you, you have an impressive background, is how did you really fall in love with baking? What attracted you to the industry?
You know, at first sight, it's probably cookies that my mom made, during Christmas time every year. She did a huge gambit of that stuff, and that was always something I enjoyed eating. So, I was always primed for that. And I started off in a restaurant, but I got the opportunity at one of my first jobs to make a dessert menu, and I really fell in love with that. And then I went to baking and pastry school, and that just kind of fortified that love and enjoyment for baking. I really like the organization and the math part of baking in general. That aligns with the way I think quite a bit. And that just sold it for me. And then I've never really looked back and always done something in baking and pastry since then.
It's in your blood after a while, you you stick with you either love it or you don't.
Yeah.
And do you have a preference for, breads or cakes? Or what's excites you the most?
Right now I've been the last few years really working on my artisan breads, something from scratch, sourdough breads. The perfect baguette is always a goal of mine, to where I can make something that's super light, super crunchy, but has good flavor and taste behind it. And that really drives me sometimes.
I love it. And you and I, we met at IBIE in 2025. So what is your overview from IBIE and what interested you in being there?
Well, I mean, partly the RBA. I went to go support them and stuff, but I've been once before, and I got to tell you, this year was even better than the previous time I went 3 years ago. The amount of networking you can do there is just phenomenal. The ideas you can take from there is just so many, whether it's an innovation in manufacturing or if it's some product that you're going to use in your everyday life, and you can bring that stuff back with you and apply it to your daily life.
And I'm glad you had a good time there and learned a lot of things. And at the IBIE, as you mentioned, you had a great visibility tours, lots of new innovation and products and equipment. What have you taken back with you, from what you've learned? Any ideas or any projects that started because of IBIE?
One of the things we're doing is checking our lamination that we've been doing. I saw so many good demonstrations on lamination that I'm going to take some of those ideas and actually apply them. Specifically, laminated brioche with Lauren Haas had a great demo talking about everything from the effect of salt and the difference in one book fold or two book folds, or the amount of layers per millimeter that your product is going to have and the effect it's going to have on your actual taste. Besides that, product wise, there's so many things there. You get to be on the cusp of all of the new things that are coming out in the industry when you're there. And from so many different places all over the world convey right there. There's always something you take home. Personally, I saw powdered sourdough. It's just coming onto the market that you can apply to your bread that will give you flavor, give you some of the yeast activity that you need, but you don't have to keep a sour up for every single day. It's something that you're able to apply in a restaurant or a larger manufacturer. And the versatility of that is really interesting to me. And I think it's very useful too, because if you can't maintain a sourdough at a small restaurant, but you still want to add some of that flavor into it, it's now available where you can buy that step and take out all of that work, but still have the finished product with those nuances.
It's quite an innovative product. I'll have to look into it where you can facilitate your life as a baker or your space, because now you don't, as you said, you don't have to maintain it.
Yep.
And I love the fact that you learn a lot from the demonstration of activities that people were giving. IBIE is always more than just ingredient and equipment. It's also a lot of education and hands-on training sessions where you can learn new techniques. That's cool.
Yeah, I think even though I did the master baker test and I did well with that, I saw 3 or 4 different demos where I learned new things from. There's a gentleman from Italy doing a panettone demo, and every time I do something with panettone, I learn something else that I can apply to the rest of my bakery products. And it's just a place that has so much knowledge in one place, you can't absorb it all at one time.
Yep. Oh, thank you. And I'm going to ask you one last question. So now that was your second time going to IBIE. Do you plan on attending IBIE 2028?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that it's only once every 3 years, I think it concentrates that education. And I also think you get more world partners that show up there because it's infrequent. All of their newer innovations. I saw a vegan butter that actually tasted good. I said, wow, I would probably eat that, as opposed to the ones I've had in the past were not so good. I mean, and these are new things that are coming onto the market. So I feel like people almost innovate to come to the show because they know that everybody is coming to that show and everybody is looking for new ideas there or equipment that's going to improve their business. I mean, the amount of automation equipment there for larger bakeries is mind-blowing. And the fact that, you can sit and talk to somebody and really imagine yourself, hey, I can cut my production time down or I can cut my labor down and still have a good quality product is beneficial for anybody. You're going to save yourself money every time you go there.
Well said. Well said. This is all the time we have today. So, Matt, I want to again thank you for being part of At the Bench, and where we were able to discuss baking and IBIE and what IBIE could have brought to the table for any bakers. And as you can see, we have 2 master bakers, and we're talking about still learning and still sharing information. So keep on learning, keep on sharing, and keep on baking. Thank you. I'm your host, Richard Charpentier, and until next time, thank you.
For all of your product development needs, think of Baking Innovation. We are your ultimate team of bakery experts, scientists, engineers with over 120 years of experience, from technical support to education, science and process efficiency. We've got every aspect of your baking needs covered with unparalleled results. So give us a shot.